I watched the guy lose his entire $45,000. He lost every single penny that he'd saved on his very first deal. And here's what bothers me. He actually thought he was being smart. He'd done his research. He found out about DSCR loans, no income verification, no W-2 requirement, easy approvals. He found a property, called a lender, and got pre-approved. Then the lender said two words that ended everything. Property rejected. Here's the 30-second calculation that would have told him his deal was dead before he even picked up the telephone. Nobody teaches it, but I will. If you're thinking about using DSCR loans for your next flip, or if you don't even know what DSCR stands for yet, the next few minutes will save you months of pain and potentially tens of thousands of dollars that you could avoid. So stay with me here. So let's talk about what actually happened here. DSCR loans are everywhere right now. YouTube, podcast, ads, lenders calling. You see it all over these days. And the pitch sounds pretty incredible. No income verification, no tax returns, no W-2s. Just buy rental properties and simply build wealth. Well, here's what they don't tell you. I'm Wright, the CEO of The Investor's Edge, and I have been flipping houses since before YouTube even existed. I have personally funded hundreds of deals, and I've seen this mistake destroy more beginners than almost anything else. Let's face it, DSCR loans are powerful. They're also one of the most misunderstood products in real estate today, and the gurus selling the courses about them, well, they conveniently leave out the part that would stop you from buying their program. So here's what I'm going to show you. What DSCR actually means in very plain, simple to understand English, who DSCR is really designed for, the 3 mistakes that cost investors the most amount of money, and the 30-second calculation that I mentioned earlier. But let me tell you what happened to Felix, because his story is about to save you a lot of money. Felix was a media professional. He lived in Dallas, Texas. He had a really good job and he had really good income. He had over a 700, around a 740 credit score. He'd been watching real estate on YouTube for about 8 months now. He saved up $60,000 and he was ready to make his very first move. He found a duplex. It was listed and it was in rough shape. The type that is in really bad shape, overgrown yard, faded for sale sign. It had clearly been there for a while, and that sign had been there even longer. The listing said investor special, which we all know is in most cases an absolute disaster that nobody else is interested in. But Felix saw an opportunity. He ran in his numbers. He figured $35,000 in renovation. He rented out for $1,600 a unit, cash flow $800 a month. And then he remembered what he'd heard about DSCR loans. No income verification, no tax returns, just prove the rent covers the mortgage. So he called a lender. The conversation went great. Mr. Felix, your credit score, you're pre-approved for up to $300,000. Felix was excited. He said, perfect, I found a duplex that is well less than that amount of money. And then the lender asked one question that changed absolutely everything. Is the property currently rent ready? Meaning, can somebody move into the house right now? Felix paused. Well, it needs some work, probably $35,000 worth of work. The other end of the phone was complete silence. Mr. Felix, I'm sorry. This property doesn't qualify for DSCR financing. We can only lend on properties that are rent ready today, that the renovations have already been taken place on, not before. Felix didn't understand. He'd been pre-approved. He thought that meant his deal was good. He scrambled. He found a hard money lender, bought the property anyway because he'd already told everybody he was doing his first deal. Then guess what happened? the renovation went well over budget. That $35,000 he thought he was going to be spending easily became $58,000. The timeline stretch from 6 months, 7 months, now became a year, and eventually ended up being 14 months. By the time he finally refinanced into the DSCR loan, which he could now do because the property was rent ready, he'd burned through almost all of his savings. And you know that $800 a month cash flow he was planning on? Well, he broke even for the first few years and had a big hole to dig out of. Now, let's be really clear. Felix wasn't lazy. He just didn't understand what DSCR loans are actually designed for. Early in my career, I once spent 45 minutes on the phone with a lender, walking them through a deal. I was sure it was perfect, only find out at the end that the loan project I wanted actually did not exist for the property type I was doing. 45 minutes, gone. And that was just time. You see, Felix, he lost over 2 years. Okay, here it is. The calculation that would have saved Felix $45,000. DSCR stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio. Now, let me explain what that means in just plain English, okay? It's a very fancy name, but the concept is actually very simple. Does the rent cover the mortgage? That's really all it comes down to. And here's the math, and write this down. The property's rents divided by the total monthly payments, that's principal, interest, taxes, insurance, HOA, if there happens to be one. Rent divided by the payment, that is how a DSCR is determined. So if the rent is $2,000 and your payment is $2,000 with everything we just discussed, your DSCR is 1%, 1.0. That means you're breaking even. Every dollar of rent goes back to pay those expenses. If the rent is $2,500 and the payment is $2,000, your DSCR is 1.25%. That means you've got a 25% cushion, room to breathe. Now, what most people miss, most lenders require a minimum DSCR of 1 to qualify. Some might want 1.2, a few might go as low as 0.75 for really strong borrowers, but most are somewhere around that 1 or greater. But here's what I tell every student I work with, because 1 sounds fine on paper, but in the real world, a 1 DSCR means you have 0 margin. 1 month of vacancy and you're red. 1 repair and you're in the red. 1 tenant who pays late, you're covering that payment out of pocket. 1 isn't a target, it's a trap. And this is the same principle behind my 74% ARV rule for flips. You build in margin for error. In flipping, that margin protects you. In rentals, that 1.25% DSCR cushion protects your cash flow when things really get tight. And they will. And the reality always hits. Now, this is where the YouTube gurus completely mislead people. And this is also where you'll have a massive advantage over every other investor at your next real estate meetup. DSCR loans are not for flippers. I know that's not what you've heard. I know that's not what they say on YouTube with the gurus, but it's the truth. DSCR loans are for holders, people that are going to hold long-term properties. And here's how they actually work. These loans qualify you based upon the property's income, not your personal income. No W-2s, no tax returns, no employment verification. So who actually benefits from that? Well, let's think about Michelle. Michelle is self-employed. She's a real estate agent. Last year, she made $180,000, but with her write-offs, deductions, business expenses, tax returns showed closer to about $42,000 of income. So trying to get a conventional mortgage showing $42,000 a year, good luck. It's just not going to happen. Now, DSCR lets Michelle qualify based on what the property earns, not what her tax return says. Or think about David. He left his W-2 job a few years ago to flip a house full time. He's now making great money, but he doesn't have that traditional income documentation that the banks actually want. DSCR is the path to building rental portfolio and that residual income. Or think about Maria. She actually owns 12 rental properties. She hit the Fannie Mae limit of the 10 conventional mortgages, and she can't get any more. DSCR is the only way she can keep scaling and buying more properties. These investors aren't buying distressed properties to flip. They're buying or refinancing rental properties that generate income. And this is the part the gurus leave out. DSCR is exit financing. It's what you refinance into after you've done the work, after the property is rent ready. It's not what you use to buy a fixer-upper. Felix tried to use an exit strategy as an entry strategy, and that's exactly why the whole thing blew up. Now, let me show you 3 mistakes that cost investors the most amount of money with DSCRs, and the one that isn't even about the loan itself. Mistake number 1, using DSCR to buy a project. I already showed you this with Felix, but let me make this crystal clear. DSCR requires rent-ready properties, not it will be ready once it's fixed up. It has to be rent-ready now. So here's how I explain to my students. Could a tenant move in today, this weekend? If the answer is no, a DSCR will not work. If the answer is yes, then it would. So if the kitchen's gutted, no way. If the HVAC is not working, nope. If the property needs significant renovation, if the kitchen has issues, if the electrical has issues, no, 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 no. For purchase and renovating, you need hard money or private money. DSCR, that comes later. It's the exit. It's not the entry. The mistake number 1 is one that tricks even experienced investors. Mistake number 2, thinking no income verification means easy approval. A student who called me last month, great guy, he'd been following along for a while and said, Ryan, I don't understand, the DSCR lender rejected me. I thought there was no income verification. I asked him a few questions, credit score 580. See, no income verification does not mean no requirements. You still need to have a 620 credit score minimum. Some lenders want 670 or even higher. You still need 20 to 25% down or equity. You still need 6 to 12 months reserves sitting in the bank, and the property itself still has to meet the DSCR ratio. No income verification means they don't need your tax returns. It doesn't mean anybody can walk in off the street and get approved. Mistake number 3 is accepting the first rate you're quoted. A few months ago, I was talking with an investor named Tim. He'd closed on a rental using a DSCR. I asked him what rate he got, and he said 8.5%. I asked, how many lenders did you talk to? He looked at me as if I was speaking a different language. Tim, I said, what did the other lenders quote? Other lenders, he said? I made some calls on the same property, same borrower profile, and the second lender I talked to quoted 7.1%. That's a third, significantly less. That's a difference of serious money when it comes to making those monthly payments. On a $200,000 loan, that's $3,500 extra a year interest Tim is paying that he wouldn't have to if he would have shopped around. Every single year he's gonna pay that because he didn't wanna make 2 more phone calls. Here's my rule with DSCRs. Minimum, talk to 3 lenders. DSCR is a competitive market. Rates vary widely, and the 15 minutes it takes to get additional quotes could save you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a year. Now, Tim is a smart guy. He runs a successful business, but he treated getting a loan like buying a cup of coffee. He just grabbed the first option that he saw. That decision will cost him over $30,000 over the lifespan of that loan. Okay, so I've shown you what goes wrong. Now I want to show you what happens when someone gets it right. Jennifer was a nurse in Tennessee, making $72,000 a year. She'd be following this channel for about 6 months when she found her first off-market deal through our platform, using our platform. It was a single-family home in a solid working-class neighborhood, nothing fancy but stable, the kind of area where people raise family in and stay for decades. Here's the numbers. The purchase price was $145,000, renovation needed was $35,000, and the after repaired value was $230,000. Now here's where Jennifer differed from Felix. She ran both scenarios before she bought. The flip scenario, sell at $230,000, Net profit after costs, $32,000. Solid profit. But then she also ran the BRRRR scenario. After renovations, she'd refinance at 75% of the new value. That's $172,500. Her total cash into the deal was $64,000, $29,000 down plus the $35,000 for the rehab. The refinance would return about $27,500, leaving her about $35,000 still into the property. Now, here's where the 30-second calculation comes in. Monthly rent, $1,850. DSCR payment at an 8% interest rate, including taxes and insurance, is approximately $1,550. So if you take $1,850 divided by the $1,550, the DSCR is 1.19%. Now that's slightly below my 1.25 target. It's workable, but it's tight. Jennifer knew that. So she knew the neighborhood had rents trending upward. She'd talked to 3 other property managers before actually making her offer. She called me. She said, "Ryan, the flip profit's good, but I didn't want the income. I want growing the wealth. I'm keeping this one." That was 18 months ago. Today, Jennifer has 3 rentals, all stabilized with DSCR loans, combined cash flow over $1,100 a month. She still works as a nurse, but now she has options. She's building something that compounds. Remember that 30-second calculation I taught you earlier? Jennifer ran it before making her offer. Felix didn't. And that's the difference between $1,100 a month in cash flow and 2 years of simply breaking even. This is what I mean when I talk about reducing beginner risk. It's one of the 3 types of risk I teach that can kill a real estate deal. When you understand your financing toolkit, your hard money, private money, conventional, and DSCR, you eliminate surprises. And in this business, surprises are what turn good deals into disasters. So here's what I want you to understand, and this is very important. Knowing whether a property will DSCR before you buy it gives you something most investors don't have, and that is options. Market's hot, you flip. Market cools down, you hold. Life throws you a curveball, you are not trapped. You have options. That's what real estate investors have that beginners don't. Flexibility, the ability to pivot, multiple exit strategies, not just one. Once you know that, once you really internalize it, you're operating at a different level than 90% of the investors you'll meet at any real estate meetup. You're not hoping deals work out, you're engineering them to work out. Remember Felix from the beginning of this video? He didn't run the numbers before he called that lender. Jennifer did. Same loan product, completely different outcomes. And here's the thing. DSCR works best when you're buying properties with built-in equity, deals where the math works from day one. That's exactly what off-market deals give you that the MLS deals don't. If you want to learn how to find those deals, properties you can flip or hold with margins that actually make sense, I've put together a free training that shows you exactly how our students are finding deals with 15 to 20% better margins than on the MLS. And on the top of that, 100% financing by the Investor's Edge hard money loans. Click the first link in the description. I've made a free training that'll walk you through it. If you're serious about this, if you're really serious about this, you will want to see it. I'm Ryan Wright, and I will see you on the next one.